So, today we're going to talk about individual psychology. And individual psychology is basically the theory of how an individual interprets the world or evaluates it. There are a couple main concepts within individual psychology that help support the theory and the method. And those three things are socialization, the three fundamentals, and then compensation. So, we're going to talk about the three core concepts and then how it's applicable and use a real life example. So, socialization basically says that if we look at life as with the individual psychology theory, what we're saying is our social situations shape and influence our personalities and how we perceive the world. The second main concept is there's three fundamentals that we seek for. So this would be occupational. So our means to either have a career, if that means you're a stay-at-home mom and your occupation is to take care of the house and its well-being. Then we also have a desire for friendships and social settings, and then the desire to be fulfilled in a loving standpoint. So this would be your family and a significant other or your kids. So then the third main concept is compensation. So this is basically, if you look at it like a thermometer, our emotional well-being. If we're undercompensating, or if we're undercompensated, that means that we're unable to fix or handle or fulfill our needs. So this is undercompensation. Compensation in the theory is when you maybe compensate in other areas of strengths from your to compensate for your weaknesses. The difficult thing is that you can overcompensate, which can lead to more aggressive behavior and more derogatory and trying to overcompensate for your weaknesses. So we're going to apply this in a real life example. So what this means, basically, the theory is that, let's say Sally is born into a family. So her social situation, she has siblings and she has two parents who are divorced. So these things are going to impact and influence and shape her personality. So because she has siblings, that's going to impact the way that she views and sees others and relationships. Because she's not an only child and she lives in a household where she has to share and experience different personalities within her own social circle. She also has her parents that are divorced. So that is going to influence and shape the way that she perceives relationships, love, and how family values and structure works. So that would be the impact from her social standpoint. Also, things that would influence Sally would be her school and where she lives and her neighborhood. Are there kids in the neighborhood? Do they live on a farm in a very rural area? So then her three main fundamentals are going to be occupational, so her desire. If Sally's still in school, her occupational desire would be to do well in school. Her friends are going to impact and influence her happiness and her individual psychology. And then her need for love. So if her parents' divorce is not good or she doesn't see one of the parents, that could impact her individually and her perception of the world. People who, in these three fundamentals of social aspects, have a good base in these three, or tend to be more happy. The more social we are, based on individual psychology theory, the more social you are, the happier you are as a person. And then in compensation, so if Sally feels undercompensated in love, she might cry or not know how to handle her emotions because she is unable to handle those issues internally. So her parents or friends and family might experience her throwing fits or acting out to get that attention and get that love that she is missing. If Sally feels loved and she has some weaknesses like we all do, she will be in a healthy state of compensation where she uses her strengths to deal with the weaknesses she might have. This might mean that if Sally's not very good at math in school, she might know that her strength is utilizing research and self-teaching. So she might rely on those strengths to help her with her weakness of not being strong naturally in math. But if Sally feels that, let's say she's trying to overcompensate for the fact that maybe one of her parents from the divorce is not in her life, and she needs to overcompensate because she needs to hide that weakness that she's missing, that love, she could act out in school, throw fits, and eventually get in trouble until it's a very big issue. So that is how individual psychology theory works. Thank you.